What's up, guys? In this video I'm going to show you how to check the transmission fluid level and how to change the transmission fluid in a Toyota Camry. This goes for a lot of models, and the reason I'm posting this video is because it is not a simple process but rather a huge pain in the ass. And I'm going to show you what one of the problems is. First of all, the transmission pan in a Toyota has a little straw inside of it sticking up. So if you have opened your drain plug and notice that hardly no fluid is coming out, it's because you've achieved this level right here. Now this straw is used to determine the fluid level in the transmission. At 104 degrees, your fluid level should be right here. So fluid will stop pouring out of the bottom of this thing at 104 degrees when you're at the right temperature. So you need a thermal gun to do this. Now, secondly, there's no dipstick. That's why they have this dumb straw. This straw can be removed with the same socket that takes out the plug, which is a 6mm. My camera is an $800 piece of junk apparently. It's an iPhone, so go figure. So you take the drain plug out first, then you take that same Allen key, put it inside the drain port, and you pull the straw out. But you have to take note of the position of that straw because they say this transmission is extremely finicky and it will start to make very strange noises if you don't have the proper fluid level in there. So this is why it's considered such a huge pain in the neck. It has to be checked at temperature of 104 degrees Fahrenheit. I think I'd have to double check. I'm almost positive it's 104 degrees Fahrenheit. I will double check that. Now, once we get the fluid out of it, how do we get it back in there? You have to set the car up in such a way. I have to make sure my tires aren't hitting the jack. It just dawned on me that that may happen. And it appears we are clear. There's no jack stand or nothing in the way. I'm going to turn the steering wheel to the left. Okay, guys, and the fill port is that little bolt right there. I had to remove this piece of plastic. I'm going to zoom out and show you where I'm at. It's the driver's side of the car. And two 10mm bolts are holding this on. There's another one back inside of this cowling, but I don't think I'm going to bother taking it off. I don't want to turn this into a 3-day job. I'm going to attempt to remove that with a socket and adapter. I'll tell you how large that is as soon as I find out. Alright fellas, it looks like that bad boy's a 25mm. I used a 15/16. It's always the size I don't have, of course. We should know that by now. I'm going to do a real quick thorough check just to maybe save you the time, because you might have to stop and actually buy this socket. I'd have to do that on occasion. I'm sorry, that was 23mm. Maybe it is just a 1-inch on a Japanese car. I don't know how accurate this thing is, but the 1-inch worked out just fine for me. So you might need a 24mm on that. Hard to say. 24mm probably work. But that gives us that right there. And we'll have to take a hose and a transfer pump set up and replace that stuff. So this is going to be a lot of fun, of course. I'm probably just going to take a funnel and a hose rig and mount the funnel on the side of the car here and go that route versus a transfer pump. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. Okay, fellas, so there is the straw. That's why you only got about a quart of transmission fluid out of your transmission if you try to change the fluid in this thing. Hopefully this video will save you some time. So we had about a 1/16 inch of a gap between the socket and the pan. I'm going to put it back in there in that same position now that the fluid's drained out. So there we have it, fellas. That is the fluid level of the fluid taken out of the transmission. I'm going to put about that much back in. I'm going to add a little hair more maybe, just since it has been a while since it's had any fluid in it. It might be a bad idea, I don't know. Maybe I better just put the exact amount. At any rate, I'm going to put the exact amount back in, and in about 2 weeks or so I'm going to repeat this process because I don't want to bother with doing a transmission flush on this thing. I'm just going to change out the fluid. There's 8 quarts total, so that's about 2 gallons of this stuff. So at least if we add 1 gallon of fresh fluid, that'd probably be pretty good. it's better than doing nothing at all. I mean, I could go ahead and do the full deal, but typically a pan drop is just 4 quarts, which is a whole gallon. Not sure why I'm not getting that out of this. Most of it's in the torque converter, but let's do this. We're definitely gonna be here a while. You can see the rig here I've set up. Nothing fancy. A transfer pump would be much better, but I have several. It's just the time getting hoses and adapters and all that hooked up. Figured this would just be quicker to sit here and do this. The tools you are gonna need for this job. I used a 6mm Allen wrench, a 15/16 socket to remove the fill plug, and that's about it. You do have to jack the car up and all that nonsense, but there was no, you definitely want to get one of these, and a 10mm socket. The only thing you might have to go out and buy is if you don't have a socket this large, which most people do not, by the way. So you're definitely going to want to get the 24mm socket or the 15/16 for that. A crescent wrench will do it. You could probably get a crescent wrench up inside of there. As I said, in about a week or two, I'm going to repeat this process, and that will give me a gallon of clean fluid. I could probably do it every week and get a full 2 gallons in there. I don't know if I want to drag it out that far, and the reason I'm saying is I know guys that have put 300,000 miles on the transmission before without ever changing the fluid, so it's not all that critical in a car like this. This is driven by a woman, and I doubt she's out there hot rodding it. Despite that, this is how black that stuff turned out to be. Here's the new. You can see the sheen it leaves on the bottle. I'm shutting up, guys. That ought to get you through the storm there. Because when I went to do this, I'm like, what in the world is going on? I got like that much in a gallon jug out at first. Like not even a quart of fluid came out because of that straw. So that straw is going to trick you. So be on the lookout for that. Good luck. Also forgot to mention, you're going to need a piece of hose. I believe this is some 1/2-inch hose and it fits in there pretty nice. Check that out for you real quick. It fits in there snug. Yeah, that says 0.625, so probably a 5/8 hose. Works out perfect for that. Or as I said, you would probably do better with a transfer pump. But that's all I got, man. Forgot to mention the hose. It's about a 4-foot piece of hose probably, maybe longer than that. I would get a 5-footer if I was you.